Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, they are not from you, and though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, and you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can try to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Try to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Oh, your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, they are not from you, and though they are with you, they belong not to you. You can give them your love, but not your thoughts. They have their own thoughts. They have their own thoughts. You can house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in a place of tomorrow, and you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You can try to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. Try to be like them, but you cannot make them just like you. I haven't posted a video in quite a few days, and not because I haven't had anything to say, and certainly not because I do not feel passionate about the many things I carry in my heart now to express. In spite of my passionate desire to express myself, and actually, because of it, I've held my tongue. To truly be a shaman, one must be in service to the Creator and to the highest good of all sentient beings. In my Lakota training, I learned to pray to be a hollow little bone for the Great Spirit's medicine. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. I love Sweet Honey in the Rock setting of Khalil Gibran's inspired poem on children, and I plan to sing it with my children someday. In his words, children are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. Just as I pray to be a clear instrument for the Great Spirit's medicine, so that I can allow life to bring through me whatever medicine is needed at this time, I know that when my own reactivity is at an all-time high, I am not a trustworthy vessel for what life wishes to bring through me. My first teacher taught me to ask myself at all times, and especially in times of great internal reactivity, is this an impulse of my ego, or is this the dynamism of life wanting to move through me? When I ask my heart what medicine it wishes to bring through at this time for the collective, it gently whispers, forgiveness. And candidly, I found myself at times at a bit of a loss. Not because I don't wish to forgive all of my persecutors, and not because I haven't partially already done so. In truth, I have in many of the deep chambers of my heart, though I still sometimes ache. I ache to understand. Usually, when I'm able to understand the truth of a situation from another's perspective, I'm able to release it peacefully. In this instance, learning that my parents, friends, former lovers, and mentors have been harvesting my energy and stealing my money for years. That they've gone to wildly elaborate lengths to humiliate me and destroy my reputation. That they've tortured me for years with evil witchcraft and with cruel emotional abuse. And that they've tried to murder me. Well, let's just say that forgiveness in this instance has required me to dig very deeply. The Jungian analyst and masterful storyteller, Dr. Clarissa Pinkola Estes, states, correctly I think, all strong souls first go to hell before they do the healing of the world they came here for. If we are lucky, we return to help those still trapped below. Then after many hours of grieving, meditation and contemplation, the conclusion I've come to is that they must all be in hell to treat me this way. My first teacher's teacher, a Sufi named Baba, used to exclaim to God when life got too easy, God, have you forgotten about me? Do you not love me anymore? The Sufis talk about the spiritual process as though life's struggles are the polishing of a precious diamond. And that diamond we find in union with God in the heart. I, quite humbly, do not know how to teach my students how to have devotion. We think devotion to God is for God, but it's for us. It's a gift of the Spirit. Indeed, it's an incredibly sweet and beautiful nectar. It's an incomparable love that doesn't compare to anything earthly. And that is shamanism. Devotion to relationship with the Creatrix through her many faces. Though when the heart is shut down, that relationship remains elusive and always out of reach. When we as shamans embark upon the path to break the curses of our lineages, we must find compassion for our abusers. If not for them, then for us. Because wherever we shut down to the love in our hearts, we shut down to God moving through us more deeply. However, forgiveness implies not that we tolerate abusive behavior. In truth, forgiveness keeps our hearts fully open to the love of the goddess and to allowing her to guide us towards good, true, beautiful, and divinely and righteously empowered boundaries. If one's heart remains entirely shut down in the face of another's suffering, enough that one is able to enjoy the misery of another and to murder her for material gain without any regret, one has turned one's back on God, and one has become evil. Psychologist and author of The Sociopath Next Door, Dr. Martha Stout explains, to admit that some people literally have no conscience is not technically the same as saying that some human beings are evil, but it is disturbingly close. And good people want very much not to believe in the personification of evil. She continues, people who do hideous things do not look like people who do hideous things. There is no face of evil. And Dr. M. Scott Peck, author of the monumental work on the psychology of human evil, People of the Lie, warns us, since the primary motive of the evil is disguise, one of the places evil people are most likely to be found is within the church. What better way to conceal one's evil from oneself, as well as from others, than to be a deacon or some other highly visible form of Christian within our culture? My primary early attachment figure in addition to being a member of the church council for a time, was quite ironically a child protective caseworker for social services for many years. And in her later years became a highly celebrated supervisor for young social workers, those being trained to protect the health and well-being of the children of our society. In the years that she was sexually, emotionally, and physically abusing me and allowing me to be ritualistically gang raped and trafficked while drugged and only semi-conscious, as a masterful wolf in sheep's clothing, she was arranging sexual abuse awareness assemblies at my elementary school. I've seen the face of evil in chiropractors, professors, so-called shamans, special ed teachers, educational administrators, church organists and choir members, psychotherapists, estheticians, insurance executives, you name it. Every quote-unquote upstanding profession, and especially those helping professions that engender trust and inspire dependency, provide effective and useful disguises for evil in our society. Our American society is rife with organizations, cults, and secret societies that train their members to be predators and train them specifically to sickly feed off the open-hearted. And as long as we, the open-hearted, remain asleep to this, we remain victims to the false fear matrix. As long as they keep us numb to what's truly ailing us, they will dominate and destroy us. The primary reason we must forgive them is because what is ailing us is ailing them too. A long, long time ago, perhaps even in a past life, someone wounded them, and they shut down their hearts. It's the resilient among us who must keep our hearts open at this challenging time in our history. The primary reason I am able to forgive my abusers for their atrocities is because I cannot imagine not feeling connected to God, and I don't want to imagine the bleak futility and pain of that kind of half-life existence. That would be hell for me. And by the grace of God, I've not had that experience. So, there, but by the grace of God, go I. They've taken away from me all the worldly things, or they've tried, but they weren't able to apprehend with their closed hearts that every impossible situation they threw at me polished the diamond of my heart and deepened my connection with the divine. Clairvoyance, or clear seeing, also a gift of the Spirit, deepens exponentially as we deepen our relationship with our Creator. As they throw spell after spell and death trap after death trap my way, that relationship only deepens, and my alchemical power only grows. They think that they may imitate my spell work, which makes me laugh heartily, as the strength of my ceremony resides deep within my heart, where I and the beloved are one. To quote the Song of Solomon, "Set me as a seal over your heart, as a seal upon your arm, for love is as strong as death, its jealousy as unrelenting as Sheol, its sparks are fiery flames, the fiercest blaze of all." And so it is.